I don't know what it is with Florida and daycare workers, but this man, I'm just sorry, just some people just have a face that just shouldn't be trusted. This man should have never been trusted to be a babysitter. And when y'all hear the details, and if you can't hear it, I hope that y'all can hear it. Turn the volume up really high when y'all hear how he describes how he said he was taught to deal with children in a daycare, specifically when it comes to, I guess maybe changing diapers or something like that. This is the epitome of a pedophile. It cannot be fixed. It just needs to be punished. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So we're getting this story from WOKV.com. So thank you for the article. We get his picture back up here. I want y'all to take a good look at this face. Hold on, not that one. Not even that. This face. That's the face I want y'all to see. Florida. A judge on Friday sentenced this fool by the name of Anthony Guadalupe to 70 years in prison, followed by lifetime sex offender probation. And I also need to give you guys another disclaimer. Warning, the following video contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer yet again. So don't flag my video, YouTube. I want my monetization on this, okay? Now, he was sentenced to 70 years in prison, followed by a lifetime sex offender probation. So y'all got to hear what this fool did. The former St. Johns County daycare worker found guilty of molesting children in his daycare is scheduled for sentencing within hours. Anthony Guadalupe faces up to life in prison. He ended up getting 70 years, so this is kind of going back in the story. His defense, he told Action News Jax that they're disappointed with the outcome of the trial. After a 2-day trial, 20-year-old Anthony Guadalupe, he's 20 years old. Well, personally, he never should have been around kids, but let alone I don't think men really should be dealing with kids under the age of 30 years old. But I digress. He never should have. He's a pedophile, and people like that just need to be punished. 20-year-old Anthony Guadalupe walked away in handcuffs. He was facing 22 felony counts for inappropriately touching kids at Chapel School's Longleaf campus 2 years ago. After about an hour of deliberation, jurors found Guadalupe guilty of 12 counts of molesting children under the age of 12 years old, 1 count of attempting to molest children, and 3 counts of committing unnatural acts. While the prosecution said that they were proud of the work the jury put in, his defense said that they were disappointed in how things turned out. Well, we're going to skip that part about it. Let me see. That actually didn't give us a lot of information. I want y'all to hear the news videos because that's actually going to really tell the story about what he did to these babies. Here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Yes, unnatural acts. Look, brace yourselves. It's going to be rough to hear. And again, let me get my warning back up here, just so y'all know. Warning. Boom, boom, boom. Following content contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. So you've been warned. Listen to this.
New allegations tonight against a former teaching assistant at a St. Johns County private preschool who was charged with molesting a child.
Anthony Guadalupe was formerly charged with sexually abusing a 4-year-old girl in June. He has pleaded not guilty, but now The parents of 9 more alleged victims have filed a lawsuit against Chappelle School and also 2 top administrators.
On your sides, Brianna Ray Turner is live tonight in the newsroom. And Brianna, I know you got your hands on this lawsuit earlier today. How could it change the playing field in this case?
The lawsuit noticed problematic behavior on the school's video live stream and flagged it to administrators before Anthony Guadalupe's arrest. Now, Stacey Vaughn, vice president of programs at the Monique Burr Foundation, says classroom cameras help monitor for abuse but aren't a solution.
The lawsuit says parents noticed a problematic behavior on the school's video live stream and flagged it to administrators before Anthony Guadalupe's arrest. Stacey Vaughn, vice president of programs at the Monique Burr Foundation, says classroom cameras help monitor for abuse but aren't a solution.
As adults, we have to look at, are all of the things in place that need to be in place, and not just think that, oh, if they do background checks, I'm covered, or if they have cameras, I'm covered. It's really much more comprehensive than that, because predators are smart. They're manipulative.
As the new school year rolls in, she says parents should keep in mind 5 safety rules.
They're know what's up, spot red flags, make a move, talk it up, no blame, no shame.
She says for kids who are really young, it's about teaching them consent and boundaries. Vaughn shares an example.
Your grandma comes over and wants a hug. Really, we should be asking young children, is it okay if I give you a hug? Is it okay if I touch your shoulder? And what we're teaching kids is that adults should be asking their permission before touching them.
Vaughn shares resource links for parents that you can find on our First Coast News website or app. We reached out to Chappelle Schools and their attorney and did not hear back. We also reached out to Anthony Guadalupe's lawyer.
Tonight in St. Johns County, this former daycare employee will spend the next 70 years in prison for sex crimes involving at least 8 children in his care. 20-year-old Anthony Guadalupe worked as a teacher's assistant at the Chappelle School Longleaf campus in St. Johns County.
Yeah, News4Jax reporter Ariel Schiller is joining us live in studio tonight. And Ariel, Chappelle School saying that it hopes this sentencing finally brings some closure to everyone who's been involved.
Kent, that's correct. And even though Anthony Guadalupe was already found guilty of his crimes, multiple people spoke today, including Guadalupe and his family. And we also heard from the parents of his victims. We heard emotional testimony throughout the day.
The idea that something could happen to your child when you put them in the care of someone else is one of the most devastating things possible.
Multiple parents of Anthony Guadalupe's victims came forward in court Friday to share their heartbreak over what happened to their children. Guadalupe was 18 years old when he worked as a teacher's assistant at the Chappelle Schools in St. Johns County. A jury found him guilty in June for molesting children in his care. He came forward during Friday's hearing, where he claimed he was doing his job the way he was taught to do it by an assistant teacher.
I know from my background and how I was raised that I would never have done anything to hurt those children. I'm sorry that people felt I was doing something wrong, but on my Lord and Savior, I would never do such a thing.
During his trial, the state prosecutor showed jurors several videos showing Guadalupe's interactions with children inside the school. The state pressed Guadalupe on the claim that he was doing what he was taught when he committed those crimes seen in the videos.
So the assistant teacher taught you to rub the genitals of a small child?
No, ma'am.
Did the assistant teacher teach you to rub the buttocks of a small child?
No, ma'am.
So you would agree that is not something that was taught to you, that's something you decided to do?
No, it was showing affection.
By rubbing the genitals of a small child?
You're saying that I was rubbing the genitals.
We could all see it on the camera. Taught you to rub.
Showed jurors several videos showing Guadalupe's interactions with children inside the school. The state pressed Guadalupe on the claim that he was doing what he was.
Guys, the details are graphic. Listen at this again. I hope y'all can hear this clearly. If you can't, I'll try to fix it on the replay. But oh my God, I could have kicked the screen through to try to hurt this boy. Listen at this.
Was taught when he committed those crimes seen in the videos.
So the assistant teacher taught you to rub the genitals of a small child?
No, ma'am.
Did the assistant teacher teach you to rub the buttocks of a small child?
No, ma'am.
So you would agree that is not something that was taught to you, that's something you decided to do, child? So the assistant teacher taught you to rub the genitals of a small child?
No, ma'am.
Did the assistant teacher teach you to rub the buttocks of a small child?
No, ma'am.
So you would agree that is not something that was taught to you, that's something you decided to do?
No, it was showing affection.
By rubbing the genitals of a small child?
You're saying that I was rubbing the genitals.
We could all see it on the camera, sir.
A parent of one of the victims shared her concerns after realizing her child was a victim in this case.
You hope that it never comes back to terrorize them ever in any way, mentally. I mean, there were times when I think back and I rehash, nightmares or fear of the bathroom. I mean, I think about it all the time. I mean, it's been 2 years.
Yes, y'all heard that right. He said showing affection by rubbing on naked little babies. Well, I don't know that they was naked. God, just know what the freak is wrong with people, man. Well, let this play out.
It's like the worst possible thing you can imagine is for a parent.
She also shared that being a kind person doesn't mean that making bad decisions with children is okay.
And I do believe that you can repent for your sins, but I don't think it takes it away. And I don't think that it justifies any of the behaviors, and certainly doesn't for God's children who are 4 and 5 and 6-year-old kids. There's just no excuse for it.
Guadalupe was facing between 35 years and 103 years in prison. Ultimately, the judge sentenced him to 70 years in prison, followed by lifetime sex offender probation. Reporting live in studio, Ariel Schiller, Channel 4, the local station.
Ariel, thanks.
With that said, this court has thought a lot about this case, having sat through the entirety of the trial, witnessed the video evidence in this case. The court is prepared to impose sentence. Mr. Shoemaker, is there any legal reason why this court cannot impose sentence at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Guadalupe, having been found guilty of 12 counts for lewd, lascivious molestation by a person 18 years of age or older on a victim less than 12 years of age. On each of those 12 counts, you are adjudicated guilty. You are sentenced to serve 70 years in Florida State Prison, followed by lifetime sex offender probation. As to the one count of the lesser included attempted lewd or lascivious molestation, you are adjudicated guilty and sentenced to 15 years in Florida State Prison. And as to the 3 counts of unlawful or lascivious act, you are adjudicated guilty and sentenced to time served. All sentences are to run concurrently with each other. Clerk, please impose the standard felony court costs. Is the state requesting $100 in cost of prosecution?
Yes, sir.
Objection to that, or will impose $100 for cost of prosecution. How much credit time does he have, Madam Clerk?
753.
753 days credit on each count. Additionally, I believe pursuant to Florida statute, he must be designated as a sexual predator, correct?
That's correct. I provided an order to the clerk.
Any objection to that or wish to be heard, the court does find declare that Mr. Guadalupe is a sexual predator. I'll sign that order. Mr. Guadalupe, you do have 30 days to appeal the legality of this court sentence. If you wish to appeal but cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Anything else from the state?
No, sir.
Anything else from the defense? Court is adjourned.
Got 2 words. I got 2 words for this dude. I got 2 words for him. General population. And that's just the end of it. Keep those children in your prayers and pray that they can overcome this. Pray for the parents also, who probably have a lot of hate and vengeance in their heart, and they rightfully should. But people like this have got to go. Just got to be punished. General population. That's all I got to say about that. Thank y'all for listening to these baby stories. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. We're going to continue to advocate for children and continue going to advocate for the harshest sentences and the harshest penalties. Okay? Thank you.